Hi everyone, I'm Doug from DigiPen in Redmond. In this video, we'll be talking about variables. A variable is what a computer program uses to store information. Let's learn more about it. Computer memory and human memory share some similarities. We often remember facts as a label and some data. For example, Jane's birthday is August 8th, or John's favorite color is red. In these examples, Jane's birthday and John's favorite color are the labels, and August 8th and red are the data. The labels name the data. Sometimes the facts change. When this happens, the label stays and new data replaces the old data. Computer programs use variables in the same way. They link a piece of data with a label. Let's take a more detailed look at what a variable is. A variable is like a box with a label that helps you keep track of it. Naturally, you can put something inside the box. Later, you can look inside the box to see what it contains. But a variable is like a very small box. It can only contain one thing at a time. If you put something else inside the box, you lose whatever it contained before. Another way to think about variables is to imagine a sheet of lined paper where we write a different label and piece of data on each line. We can change the value on a line, but when we do this, we lose what was already there. We can reference a specific variable by looking for its name, and then we can read whatever value is written there. Here, we can see that the variable called rectangle width currently holds the value 50. To use a variable in a computer program, first you need to declare it. Here's how you do that in Scratch. First, click the orange Variables category on the left. Then click the Make a Variable button. The New Variable dialog will appear. In the text box, type the name example number. When you're done, click the OK button. The new variables reporter block has now been added to the list of variables. Now let's put something in our new variable. In Scratch, variables can only hold two kinds of things, numbers and text. We called our variable example number, so we should put a number in it. In Scratch, you can put something in a variable with a set block. Click the orange Variables category and find the set block. Drag it into the code area. We want to put a number in our example number variable. First, we need to check the drop-down and make sure that example number is selected. Now we can put a number into this variable. To do that, click in the Value field and type 87. At this moment, the variable's value hasn't actually changed. This is because this code block hasn't run yet. Click the light yellow Events category on the left. Find the Start block. Drag it into the code area and attach it to the top of the Set block. Now, when we click the green flag, the example number variable is changed to contain the number 87. Now that our variable contains a value, we can use it wherever we would normally type a number or text. Let's demonstrate this process with a little arithmetic. Click the green Operators category and find the plus block. Drag it into the code area. In the first field, type 36. What should go into the second field? Our variable, of course. Click the orange Variables category and find the Example Number Reporter block. Drag it into the second field of the plus block. Now, the plus block will report the sum of 36 and whatever is in our variable. We can show this with a say block. Click the purple Looks category and find the second Say block. Drag it into the code area and attach it to the bottom of the Set block. Then drag the plus block into the text field in the Say block with its example number still inside it. When you click the green flag, the cat says 123. We can copy the value of one variable into another. To do that, we'll need another variable. Click the orange Variables category and then click the Make a Variable button. Name it Example Copy and click OK. This Say block is just going to get in the way, so let's get rid of it. You can delete it by dragging it from the code area and dropping it onto the block palette like this. Now let's copy our first variable into our second one. Find the Set block again and drag it into the code area. Attach it to the bottom of the Set block that's already there. Make sure that Example Copy is selected in the drop-down list. We want to set it to the value in the Example Number variable, so find the Example Number Reporter block and drag it into the field on the right of the Set block. Now, whatever is in the first variable will also be copied into the second. We can see this by clicking the green flag. Look! Both variables now equal 87. Let's put our new knowledge to use and make a simple clicker game. A clicker game is extremely basic. You just click a button and your score goes up. Let's set up this behavior using the cat sprite as the button. We'll begin with a new Scratch project. First, we'll need a variable to keep track of the number of times the cat has been clicked. You know what to do, right? Click the orange Variables category on the left, and then click the Make a Variable button in the block palette. This new variable will count the number of times the player has clicked the cat, so click counter would be a fitting name for it. As always in Scratch, when you create this variable, a watcher is added for it in the game window. We want it to go up by 1 every time the player clicks the cat. To make this happen, click the light yellow Events category on the left, and then find the When This Sprite Clicked block in the block palette. Drag it into the code area. Now click the orange Variables category on the left and find the Change block in the block palette. Drag it into the code area and attach it to the bottom of the When This Sprite Clicked block. This will cause it to be activated whenever the cat is clicked. The Change block causes the value stored in the chosen variable to go up or down by a chosen amount. The variable we want it to change is the click counter, so make sure it is selected from the drop-down list. The value shown in the Change block is 1 right now, so it will add 1 to the click counter, but we could change that to whatever we want. If we used a negative number, it would cause the chosen variable to go down instead. But our game just calls for the click counter to be incremented by 1 for each click, so we'll leave it with its default value. Click the cat, and you'll see that the click counter variable goes up. This game is exciting enough already, but let's give the player a way to reset the counter if they want to start over again. Resetting the variable is just a matter of setting its value to 0, and we already know how to set the value in a variable. Find the Set block in the block palette and drag it into the code area. As with the Change block, the variable we want to set is the click counter variable, so make sure that's selected. The value we want to set it to is 0, and that's already set in its value field. Now click the light yellow Events category on the left, and then find the Start block in the block palette. Drag it into the code area and attach it to the top of the Set block. Now when you click the cat, the click counter goes up by 1, and when you click the green flag, it gets reset back to 0. Let's recap what we covered in this video. First, we talked about how humans and computers both put labels on data. When we do this with a computer program, the combination is called a variable. We discussed what you can do with variables. You can put things in them, like numbers and text, and you can read from them. Next, we went over how to use a variable in Scratch by declaring it with the Make a Variable button, setting it with the Set block, and reading its value with its Reporter block. Finally, we made a simple clicker game using the Change and Set blocks to increment the value in a variable and reset it to 0. In the next video, we'll take the first steps toward creating a space shooter game.